it's definitely opened my eyes to the fact that I guess more people, or a lot of people, are struggling with different things that have going on in their lives. So I guess I'm treating people a lot more compassion now. I'm treating people a lot nicer.
Um, just like with just treating people with that understanding that you don't really know um, someone's situation, and just never assuming someone that like how people are and how they're gonna understand um, or how they're gonna like take in what you say. I don't know how else to say that. Um, but just to remember that people are different than you, and to not treat everybody like how like treat them like they're you.
Changes a lot because usually I thought before I joined the musical that they just won't, like, people who didn't really want to answer things or like they were scared to. I just thought that they weren't paying attention or something. But now I know it's not always the case, because there's some people that just actually don't want to answer. So it really changed my perspective of things a lot. And yeah.
Spaces are very important. Helps us feel very safe. I believe at this point in time it's very important to have a calming space, because if you don't have one, then where are you going to escape to? I mean, having that place to just feel relaxed it helps you stay healthy. And if you don't have that, then I mean, what are you gonna do? Bottle it up? We've mentioned it before that bottling things up isn't healthy. So having that space, especially at this point in time where there is a pandemic and everything just doesn't feel right, is a very good thing.
I think it's really important to have a calming space, like especially in this time, because it's so easy to get like overwhelmed and get like just so wrapped up in all this stuff. Um, when like everything, when you go on social media and you like turn on the news and everything is like about this whole pandemic, and it's always like, oh, I'm so sorry. It's like I don't know, like whenever you go onto social media or the news, it's always another story about like people dying, and it can be really easy to get really overwhelmed and stressed and anxious about like something that you don't have that much control of. Like you only really can control like the precautions that you take yourself. So it's really important to have that place or just area or just space that like you can go to and collect your thoughts and like make sure that you're all right, and just have like the outside world be outside and just focus on yourself.
Important to have a calming space because sometimes you get really frustrated with things like COVID right now, and then you just get very frustrated and angry, and sometimes you just have to have a space to like calm down so you're not always angry and you don't cause fights because you're mad and stuff and things.
Never really thought about that question before. I don't think so. But I suppose it could be a place where you could have multiple people and just hang out. I mean, I know that sometimes if I'm with a group of people and I get overwhelmed, I usually might go off onto, somewhere where I could be alone. But if you and another person are kind of getting a bit overwhelmed, I suppose both of you, or even however many of you there are, could just go off and find your own space, maybe calm down. I mean, you don't have to be quiet and you don't have to talk, but a calming space is a place where you relax. That is supposed to be a place where you feel safe. So I guess you could have more than one person in your calming space. Just, it might not be as common as being alone.
That's when I first saw the question, I just thought of like people that I know who really feel uncomfortable when they're like alone or when things are like really quiet. Even if they like don't have like a neurodiversity or something, I feel like it's so important for everybody to have a calming space. So for people who feel really uncomfortable when it's quiet or when they're alone, I couldn't really imagine their calming space being when they're alone. It would make more sense for like your calming space to be with people that make you feel relaxed and comfortable.
I'm not sure why I feel more comfortable in a more crowded area with more people talking most of the time. But sometimes I feel like I just want to calm down. So it could be both. You can have multiple calming spaces. You can have a loud one, a quiet one. So usually it's either my living room, because that's where people just come here and sit down, or the basement, because that's where I usually find Logan and Riley, my brothers, because they just love playing with Legos and stuff.
I think a calming space is anywhere you feel comfortable. You feel calm, and it's a place where if you ever get stressed, you can go there and just take a break from whatever that's stressing you.
Calming space. Noun. I'm not going to spell the phonetics. A place where one would feel at ease, tranquil, and probably alone. Most likely, unless they prefer to be in an area with other people, or if it's just one of those places. A place where you can always rely on to have that feeling of just nothing is wrong, or everything is going to be okay.
Like they said, a place where you would feel like very relaxed and at ease. And for me, it would be a place that I can just go over every single thought that I'm having and be able to like tackle everything I'm thinking of, I guess, without other people interrupting. And just to be able to just sit there and think by myself. Yeah.
My definition of a calming space is a place of your own choosing, or that you would choose to go to calm down.
So, I guess another thing And a thing I forgot to mention would be eye contact. I guess since there isn't much else I'd like to talk about, and you even mentioned it, don't assume things. That's kind of always the way I go about things. If I see something going on, I always think about reasons that may be the case, but I never assume that that is the reason. I just think, oh, that is a possibility. That's one thing I like to do. But I guess eye contact. Some of us don't like to make eye contact. Stop forcing us to. I mean, sometimes I find I pay more attention when I'm not looking at a person, or I'll find it there's a bit of tension and I'm just sort of staring somewhere else, attention focused elsewhere, because I mean, I can focus on 2 things at once, 3 maybe even. So, I mean, it's not like I'm not paying attention. I'm fully listening to you and imagining what you are saying if it is a recount of a story. But I may visually be focused on the way the wall is structured, the way it's painted. I mean, I just kind of do that a lot. I look everywhere, and people have a tendency to be like, what are you doing? Why are you not making eye contact? It's a thing a lot of people don't understand, but I mean, I don't have to. I had to learn to make eye contact. And I still sometimes won't, because, I mean, there are some other things I am more interested in looking at. Because I can still focus on what you're saying at the same time as looking at something else. Why do I need to look at you? I mean, because that's, again, one of those cues that I didn't pick up on when I was really young, and I had to be taught to use in socializing. And so, for years, I guess, I just sort of would space out or look in another direction, but I can fully focus on a conversation while doing another task or looking at something else. And that tends to be a thing a lot of people don't understand for some reason.
I guess just because, yeah. I just don't pick on someone just because they're not like you. They might have things going on in their life causing them to act that way, and just don't. Because I see it often.
If I was going off the scenario that you gave, of the bullying, that's helping me imagine this better. I would probably say, like, stop. It's like, it's important you need to realize that, like, people are gonna be different from you, and that's just how, like, life is. Everybody in the world is different, and some people are different in, like, smaller things, and then obviously some people are wired differently. I don't know. And you need to understand that
If other people are different, that doesn't mean that you should bully them or say mean things about them behind their back, because they're all just humans. They're not really bad people or anything. They're just people, and they're going through things that maybe you don't, so you don't know. So you shouldn't accuse them of anything, bully them, or anything like that.